Hi, this is Dr. Linda Horton, and this is the Helpful Homeschooler. Today I'm going to be answering some questions that we've gotten on the website, and this is from Tara, and I wanted Tara to know how much I appreciate her asking. We love input, and I'm going to do my best. I want to thank my director and my cameraman, Micah. You guys can't see him, but he's my adorable grandson. So, we're going to be talking today about grading. We've talked about grading before. Tara had some questions about high school grading, middle school grading. It's really all the same. What's going to change up is when you do the transcripts, which is going to be talked about the next time. But I want to go over grading one more time. A lot of parents are a little timid when it comes to grading, or they don't know how, or they're not sure if they're doing it right. So we're going to go over this one more time. Grading for first grade is the same as grading for high school. You write down the grades. Sometimes you can give a test more of a weight, and sometimes you just give everything the same weight. It's up to you, and I'll tell you how to do that. I have an example here. So this is how we do it. You see, I have math, and the numbers on the bottom are the numbers I've given, the numerical value I've given these grades. So let's say I just didn't have a test or a grading system. I just wanted to know how much they learned for the day, and we had a really fun quiz. It was an oral quiz, and I gave them an A. All right? The next one, I had an actual test that I did a numerical value for every answer, and they got a 98. The next one, let's say they had a B for something that they did. I had talked about this before. My grading system was really hard. Not everybody has the same grading system, and that's okay. Some people do 90 to 100 as an A. So this would be an A for some people. I chose to grade hard because I felt like the children would come up to that excellence. And it's easy when you're a homeschool parent to have more mercy on your child. And sometimes mercy is what they need. And I'm not saying don't have it. And sometimes they need a little more strictness, a little more discipline, because it brings their expectations a little higher. It's up to you and your child how you do it. Again, an 85, a 100, 75. 75 for me is a C. This B, I gave it a 93. Now, how I got the 93 and the 100 is an A, I just gave him the full credit for the A. B, I gave him the full credit for a B. That would be a B plus. So you could put a plus here if you wanted. You could plus here if you wanted, if it helps you. All right, and a 95. And so what you do, same thing for every grade. You add up how many grades you have. You divide by the number of grades. So I added all these grades and got 739. I divided by the number of grades we had, divided by 8, gave a score of 92. Now, keep in mind that score is on the B being a 93. It would totally change if your B is a 90. I'm sorry, if your A is a 90, and then this would go to an 89. So it depends on your grading system. And again, it's the same thing for every grade. And what happens is when we have a lot of kids, I did a senior, a junior, freshman, and an 8th grader at the same time. And sometimes, I'm like you guys, I was overwhelmed. So I would just put down an A or a B, especially if it was something we did as a unit together. And so then I had to then, in turn, give these letter grades a numerical value. That's exactly how you get it done. Now, when it comes to grading on, let's say you're doing something as a unit and you haven't really made a test. I talked before, there is a video on test making. I happen to love to make tests, so my kids had a lot of tests. But there were things we did like PE. How do you grade for PE? To me, it was their attitude and their effort. That's how they got the grade. So if they gave no effort, then their grade went down accordingly. If their attitude was horrible, the grade went down accordingly. You know your child, and you know when they're giving their best and when they're not. So there was a time when I took them, I remember I took them to do tennis. And my 2 older boys were like, yay, tennis. And my 2 younger boys were like, oh, just kill me now. And so I didn't grade on their ability because everybody has a different ability. But I graded on their attitude and their effort. Same thing can go in anything. Listen, when we're doing something, this could just as well say English, it could say science, it could say history. Grades are grades, but when we're doing something as a group and there is no numerical value, I put in a lot for your effort. And I know some people are a little different in how they approach the homeschooling method, and that's fine. But for me, when your attitude is right and you're giving the right amount of effort, man, you're 100%. And that's kind of how I look at it. So, I hope this has helped. I'm telling you, you grade the same for no matter what the grade is. You can't change your grading system. Now you can always, lowest grade, get rid of it. That would change this immensely. A lot of colleges do that. They'll throw out the lowest test. You're the parent, you're the teacher. You do what's right. If I throw this out, it's going to end up, that's going to be divided by 7. And it's going to be a little different because it's going to be, we're going to take out the 75. So you're going to probably have an A by the time you get done. It's all in how you feel like it should be done. As always, remember, homeschooling is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And it's done by the whole family. So go out and enjoy the adventure. Goodbye.